Welcome to Botches Off-Road. Join us as we talk about everything from gear reviews to trail stories, tent camping to rock landing, and all things to do with the outdoors. I think we're going to change that for season 3.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think as long as it is, it's just better. Like, if you're coming in on season 2 and you want to hear the full thing, just go back to season 1. Or season 3, I guess.
Yeah, I've said it through 1 and 2. It's time to just cut her down.
Cut her down. I'm with that.
So, this is a wrap. This should be a wrap. It's just a me and Gavin wrap. There's no Mark here.
Yeah.
He's off at a work Christmas party.
Boring.
Hopefully getting hammered.
Yeah. That would be interesting to see.
Well, I don't know if he's at the work Christmas party right now or if he's at the work pre-Christmas party that his boss was hosting.
What do you got to drink today?
I got a Dr. Pepper.
I got a Sprite cherry lime. That scared me. I thought I was about to blow up because it opened.
Also, remember how I was just telling you I got this free chair and this is my first time sitting at my desk with it?
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm going to get my old chair back.
Nice.
It's constantly trying to push me away. Like, I'm just rolling away from you this whole time.
That's the good rollies. Those are the ones that you have to throw clothes behind them so you don't roll anywhere. Or a zip tie.
It's the same rollies because I took I buy special rollies and then put them on my chairs.
Oh, my Lord.
So because if I damage my floors, I have to pay to get them resurfaced, and I don't want to do that.
The plastic rollers won't do it?
No, they're like roller skate wheels.
Gotta be
rubber.
custom.
They also roll nicely in carpet. But anyways, so I put those on it, but this chair's too light, so it just wants to roll all the time.
I really like mine. I bought it for like $15 from a guy down the road. Clorox wiped the shit out of it because it's leather, but it's in good condition. It's really comfy. It's the comfiest office chair I've ever had. So
my old one was way more comfy than this one, but it had a rip in one of the arms for me playing with it while I play games.
Yep.
But I'll probably go back to that one. It's better than this one.
Yeah. All right, so we did actually do something. We went out and we went wheeling for a little bit, a couple hours.
You did.
That was like
not just that.
Last Saturday.
This has been a week. Dude.
Yeah. So I think that was the earliest thing that we did, though. So we went out probably 5-10 minutes away. We got some local trails that we know pretty much like the back of our hand right now. And
I've only been wheeling them since I was 10 years old.
Right. So, and I've been wheeling them for probably 6 years or more.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we knew them very well, and we just wanted to get out and do something, go out and drive together. So we went out, did that, and played in some powder. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you saw the reels. We did bunch of reels from it. We got some video of us driving through the powder. It was a fucking blast. It was really fun.
There's only like 2-ish feet of snow, but
it was still
worth it.
Yeah, it was a blast. So we were driving through that. I think we were only out there for like 4 hours, if that. It was a lot of fun though.
I accidentally muted myself. Yeah, we were out there for about 4 hours.
Oh, and then we had to stop at my house to get some snacks for Jax. And, and then Alex's 4-wheel drive kept coming in and out. So he was having issues with that.
It wasn't coming in and out. It just wasn't going in.
Right. But then it eventually did, and you had it.
Yep.
But when we stopped at my house, I took him through the field to get to our driveway, and all of a sudden his 4-wheel drive stopped working right there. I love that.
No. I turned it on to go through there. I didn't have it on before that.
No, like when you went into it, you said it wasn't working again. Like when we stopped.
Oh, yeah. It had never started working.
Oh, well, that was what I was getting at. But so we went and did that, and then we went and did the whole prairie thing. We stopped for about 5-10 minutes and had a coffee break, where I had him try that Bear Box Brews coffee, who reached out to us, and that was fun.
I give them, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give them like a 4.5 for flavor and an 8 for convenience.
He's like a really big coffee snob, so that's really good. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. They just sent it to me to try, but I give them like an 8 for flavor because I actually liked the taste of this coffee. Like, I don't typically like black coffee all that much, but I actually didn't mind this. And then for convenience, it's very convenient. You can't really get more convenient than that other than instant coffee, and it just kind of tastes like ass, so.
It was better than instant coffee, which I give a 1 for flavor.
Yeah, so it was good. Like I said, and I think the other part of it was too is like you're supposed to wait a while, and we only waited like 5 minutes before he took his first drink. So, but he did try it later, and he said it got better, stronger. So,
yeah, I went. The problem was it's like they used the wrong roast for what they wanted. So by the time that it was strong enough to be good, it almost tasted burnt, which didn't make sense because obviously we're not on a heat source in this situation, but I like the idea, and they can only go up from where they're at.
Yeah. I mean, and to the burnt taste, I don't have refined taste buds like Mr. Alex over here, so I definitely did not taste any of the burnt, but I can't taste notes in like whiskey, like, oh, do you taint like a taste of hibiscus, and there's like a little bit of woody lemon, and I'm like, what? I taste whiskey.
I can only do that with coffee, but that's because I drink quite a bit of coffee.
Yeah, and maybe that's because I don't drink quite a bit of whiskey, and that's why I can't. But
that kind of gets us on to our next thing. I spent all week in the hospital. That was fun. I mean, not for me. I was fine.
Maybe that was the third. Maybe that was the happens in three's third. So
yeah. So
we've had
Zeke would have been the third.
That's what I'm saying, though. That was the 1, 2, 3. So we've had a hell of a week. So Alex spent the weekend, you said, or the week in the hospital.
Yep. Monday through Wednesday.
Kaylin had some issues, and she needed emergency-ish surgery. So
the largest kidney stone any of the nurses we talked to had ever seen.
Yeah. So
but they wouldn't let us keep it. Those freaking... I wanted to put it in my rock collection.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Go into like Michigan rock cons and be like, I found this on the beach.
Yeah.
Do anyone know what this is?
The doctor's like, no, we got to cut it up and send it in for testing. And I was like, oh, come on, man.
Just cut it. Just shave a bit off. Let me keep the rest. I want to put it in my polisher.
Yeah, so they did end up having to... They actually went in with the laser, busted it up, and then went in with these teeny tiny little prongs that are microscopic, and then pulled each individual component out.
Yeah. Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could have watched the surgery, but,
I know. I'm like that too. But, yeah, what a pain. And then, so he had that happen. And then, what was it? Probably a day later, my cat, the family cat, passed away. And that was our wobbly cat, the one that had wobbly cat syndrome. And she was a good cat, but she had been struggling these past couple months. We've been fighting with her UTI. And then
wobbly cats get UTIs really easy.
Yeah, and she was already like 6 years old, so she wasn't like, she's not old, but
she is for a wobbly cat.
For a wobbly cat, she was. Yeah, I mean, and it was just getting. She stopped eating. She was having issues, and we got to the point to where like we couldn't even feed her. So it sucked, but it was kind of one of those things where we knew it was just kind of time for her to go, and if it didn't happen within that day, we were going to take her.
Yeah.
To have it happen anyway, so.
Losing a pet is hard, man.
Yeah, and fortunately for me and Sienna, like we knew it was coming, so it was a lot easier. They did not have the same for Rebecca and Ed. We're really sorry to hear, and sorry to report that they lost their camp dog Zeke, and that is really unfortunate. He was
I might cry.
He was like 9 years old.
Yeah,
Border Collie, and ever since I started camping with Ed and Rebecca, they had Zeke. And
Zeke has been my best friend for a long time.
Yeah, he was a great dog. I mean, and to tell you how good of a dog he was, he pissed on my tent once and I didn't care because he's such a good dog.
Did he really?
Yeah, right on the outside rainfly of my tent, like right near the door opening, and I didn't even care. I was just like, it's just Zeke, dude.
Dude, that's like taking Wrangler places. That's my biggest fear. Is that he's just gonna piss on someone's tent.
Yeah, that is. But otherwise, Zeke he was an explorer. He was like super well mannered for a camp dog. Kinda, like in other ways, like he would run around a lot. He was always
Border Collie.
Yeah, he was always trying to get into stuff, but he also was like really good at riding in the car. He was really good at sitting in the car and like sleeping.
Always smiling. Happiest dog in the world.
Always having fun. And rightfully so. He was always having a blast. I think the last time we went camping with him in the UP, he came back on the beach random and just had a skull in his mouth. Like, no one knowing where he got it. It was like a raccoon or something. Just came out of nowhere with it. So that was very sad. They did lose Zeke, and it was really sudden. So heartfelt prayers out to Ed and Rebecca, but you know,
he'd been sick for like 3 or 4 days leading up to it, and he was on his way to get surgery when he died.
Yeah, so yeah, it sucks a bunch. Thankfully they still have, you know, their other camp buddy. And
Leo or Lilo?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I was more talking about Kai, but yes. Those ones don't make great camp buddies from what I hear, so.
No, mini Aussies are terrible camp buddies. But it was just so funny because I thought his name was Leo. Gavin thought his name was Lilo. So I finally asked Ed, and Ed's like, well, I guess his name is Leo, but his old owners called him Lilo.
And that's all I've ever heard Rebecca call him is Lilo. So, like, when he kept saying Leo, I'm like, no, that's not it. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm telling you. I know.
To make it worse, Ed is he's from Mexico and has kind of a Mexican accent. So even when he says Lilo, it sounds kind of like Leo.
Yeah. Cuz Leo is my dad's my father-in-law's name. So when he kept saying Leo, I'm like, no, it's not Leo. I would remember that if the dog was named Leo, because I'd be like, that's my dad's name. Like, I'm like, so like we went back and forth, and finally Mark shut us up and we stopped it. And then we found the truth. So, but
which is it's still hilarious, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, what else?
Because when I first met Lilo, whatever, they hadn't had him very long, so I'm pretty sure they were still calling him Leo at that time.
Maybe that's why, because I went camping with them a little more recently, I think, because I had been out with them more. I think at that point, because you were working on your truck pretty much a lot of the summer for those bigger trips.
I've been out with them like 8 or 9 times, because we camped with them a lot when we first started doing MST stuff. Before you got into MST, I think we did 6 trips with them then.
Yeah, I was talking about like this last summer though.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like, just overall, we've been with them a lot, and they always called him Leo. So I was so confused when you said Lilo.
I'm pretty sure you just heard him wrong.
Well,
he was probably already drunk when he was yelling it. So,
I mean, he was usually pretty drunk.
Yeah,
that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and Ed was just being nice to Alex anyway. It was definitely Lilo.
No, the way I asked him, like, hey, what's your other dog's name? And then he responded with that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, yeah.
It was prompted in a text message before, but he erased it.
Oh, my God.
It's a conspiracy. Nobody believe it.
But yeah, so I will say, driving the 4Runner to Grand Rapids all week, because I was driving back and forth so I could work too, that thing is great on the road and terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible in parking garages, dude.
Yeah.
I had like 1 inch before the height marker.
Yep. Yeah, even like a 3-inch lift with our SUVs. Our SUVs are a little taller, but it's like with all the shit on top of our SUVs, it's like I can't even, like, I took Sienna to the mall to get books, and I had to drop her off in the front of the mall and drive around because I couldn't even fit in the parking garage, and all the other parking spots outside were full around Barnes and Noble. So I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just had to, like, and I was fine with that because I didn't want to go in the bookstore anyway. Lame.
To me, it's also interesting because, like, your truck has a really tall body, right? And mine has a really short body. So I never thought that 4Runner would be that, that height.
Yeah, I have a tall body and a short lift. It's like I have a tall torso, short legs, and you have long legs and a short torso. That's basically what it is.
I don't even have that much lift. I have like 2.5 inches.
I don't know. I feel like
35s. Yeah,
and I feel like that helps give you more because, like, you're still taller than, like, I think someone typically. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like the long travel that makes it appear to have more. I know travel is more down, but still.
Probably because I cut my fenders.
Yeah, it just makes you look taller, though.
Yeah, and then I
forgot. On our way back, when we parked for the coffee, I looked up, saw my WeBoost. The good old WeBoost. I had finally hit a tree branch. I think it was down Pine because I remember hitting a tree branch down Pine and was like, oh, that was loud. But finally, after a year and a half or so of pretty much leaving it in the same point, and you could adjust it. I was just lazy and didn't want to. And it finally got to a point to where it hit a tree branch, and I think it was because it was, what was it, like 8 degrees? 10 degrees?
3 or 4.
Yeah, especially with wind chill. I think that plastic just got so cold, and then when it smacked that tree branch going like 10, 15 mile an hour or whatever, that was just spelled the end for the WeBoost. It still works, but the plastic housing around it is bad. I just plan to duct tape it, honestly, and call it a day, like get some black Gorilla Tape and just run it around there a bunch. But I made a post about it and was talking to WeBoost, and they, I was just kind of basically, I was, chatting it up saying like, hey man, WeBoost made a great product. Like, it withstood some bullshit from me, and it turned out really well. So and WeBoost then reached out to me and was like, hey, we want to replace this for you. And I was like, sweet, so I'll give it to them on that because WeBoost definitely didn't have to. That was my user error, and it was. Like, everybody knows that on my antenna, I don't ever put it down, even when people tell me to.
It's always sticking straight up in the air.
And it's even got like a little bit of a bend now because it's hit so many things. And honestly, half of me wanted to see how tough it was, and I got to a point to where I was just so confident with it being like just tougher than shit that I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna go through it, it'll be fine. So I learned its limits, and in the future I'll probably put it down another peg because it is adjustable. The only reason I haven't lately is because the adjuster on it has been frozen, and I haven't been able to break it free enough to do that. So
now you're gonna have to.
Yeah, I already tried earlier. it wasn't moving. I got the thing to pull out, and I just couldn't get like the teeth to pull to separate so that it would go down. So I'll figure it out once they send me a new one. So, but that was really nice of WeBoost, and I just want to give a little shout out to WeBoost for doing that because they did not have to. And this isn't the first time that I've had customer experience with WeBoost, and they've done really well. I had my main, what would you call that? Motherboard? The box?
Control box.
The main control box on it had burnt out for one reason or another. And
Yeah.
and I contacted them and
Gavin
asked,
cuts 2 wires, accidentally shorts it out.
no,
It's one reason or another.
well, I was trying to say that because I was going to share this with them. And I didn't really want them to know, but now I'm not. So I'm not going to let them know this. But no, so I was trying to hardwire the Wii Boost in, and I thought it was just the positive and the negative, but when I cut it, it was like more, it had like a fiber coating with it, and it was not the antenna. It was not the antenna. It had a bunch of like all these it was like the outside of it was a bunch of like uncoated wire, and then it had like a coating, and the inside had little wires in it. And I was like, nope, not fixing that. I tried to even separate the two, the one from the inside from the outside, and I tried hooking it up to see if it would turn on, and that's when it fried it. So yeah, I mean, I reached out to them, and I explained to them that I fried it, and maybe I wasn't like 100% forthcoming on how I did it, but I told them that I did, and they were like, yeah, sure, send us the send us the old box and we'll send you a new one. So, either way, however it happened, they took care of me. And it's honestly, for a company that, it was like a $550 product. So at this point, they've replaced my whole product. And it's all been user error. Like they haven't done anything. Their product has been rock solid. It's been me neglecting it that has caused these issues.
At least you're honest about it.
Yeah, it was my fault for trying to cut it and splice it. I didn't look to see what the power cord what could have been made out of, That was on me. And then I toasted it. I even took it apart and saw that there were all these little connections on like the little motherboard on it were all melted and burnt. And then yeah, the antenna 100% me. And the funny thing is, it still works. So even if I did want to just keep running it, I could. So shout out to them. They're pretty cool. Maybe I'll say something later when on my own podcast or something and just snip them in on it just to give them a shout out. That way there's nothing incriminating that makes me look bad.
Statute of limitations is passed on that one.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's like 7 years.
Not in this case. This case, it's like a month.
We'll see.
But
maybe I'll clue them in later.
I also got my nephew's new 23-0 swag today. Oh, by the way, listeners, it's a Friday that we're recording this on. The whole hospital thing really pushed back our recording schedule. But
yeah, we even missed out on interviewing a special guest, which we won't say who, because you'll hear about it later.
I said we are going to interview them soon. Probably season 2 stuff.
Yeah. I want to get someone else in too. Oh, and I wanted to add this too. Sorry about that. That Alex gifted me, Merry Christmas to me, a diesel heater because I'm always talking about it. And he finally just got tired of me talking about it and ordered me one. So
that's really what it was.
Yeah, I could tell. But so I got one now. I brought my battery pack in. I just need to go take it to get some diesel. And I'm going to try it out with the battery pack and see if I can get it to run off of that. And then, if I can, I'm going to let it run for as long as I can and test it out and see how long it takes for it to use up everything on the battery pack. That should be my first test with it to decide what I need to get next as far as like a battery. Yeah. So,
I also haven't talked about my alternator endeavor. Man, so much stuff happens.
So much stuff.
So then, on our way back from the hospital after her surgery, so it's Wednesday at like midnight, 1 o'clock, I don't even remember. I went to the gas station, pulled in, went in, got some stuff, came out, started the truck up, and it was just squealing, dude. So, shut it off, went to start it again, wouldn't start. So I put the jump back on it, jumped it, drove it home with it squealing. Excuse me. Popped the hood, and my alternator was not turning at all. So the next day, I went and bought a electric ratchet because I'm sick and tired of having to turn wrenches, and I don't have to anymore. So I bought that and then took it all apart. And when I grabbed that pulley on that alternator, I couldn't get it to turn at all by hand. It was completely rock solid. I've never seen one fail that spectacularly. But it's also a 2-year-old alternator that's been underwater 3 or 4 times and has had a bad bearing for 6 months or so.
That's and that is not the first alternator in the botch group this week to go out.
No, that was the first one to go out.
Right, but it was not the only one.
The other one also ended up not being bad. It was user error.
Yeah.
He ended up just changing the bolt or the nut on his bolt, and then it was fine.
Yeah. So Mark was having some issues as well. So I'm keeping an eye on my alternator because things have been happening in threes, and I'm a believer in the threes. That's why I was talking about
Mark's tensioner went out, and to get to his tensioner, he had to take his AC off and his alternator. In the process of putting the alternator back on, he hooked up the positive cable to the wrong bolt.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And that's why it wasn't charging. So he hooked it up properly, and then it worked.
That would make sense then.
Yep.
Yeah, so fun stuff there. We had all sorts of stuff happen. Oh, and my buddy got stuck in the driveway. So I had to go pull him out. He's off of 96th, and he's got a half-mile long driveway. It's like an easement. And his car got stuck. Well, his ex's car got stuck. And this is his ex-wife coming to see the kids. So he asked me to come by because he's got a Buick LeSabre, and that couldn't do it. And his Ram Charger was down. So I went over there, and I got the kinetic strap out, and he's like, "Are you sure that's going to do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It was kind of small, and I'm like, this is not small for a kinetic strap. This is good. Like, you know, weigh more than 40,000 pounds, buddy.
Yeah, you're supposed to, with kinetic straps, you're supposed to kind of match them to the size of vehicle that you're pulling out.
Right.
So you were probably way over what you needed for that car, which was probably making it hell inside that car.
Yeah, and it was for him. It was funny. So that comes in later. So I was like, yes, this will be plenty fine. I said, this is like rated for like 40,000 pounds. And then I showed him, he goes, well, do you have like a steel, what do they call those? Like the clevis, I can't remember what they're called right now.
D-ring?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, D-ring. There's another name for them. Oh, shackle, like hard shackle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I mean, I do. I said, but I got a soft shackle here, and these are easier to put on. So we put it on his tow point and started towing the car, and I was going slow. I was going slow. And he goes, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, cool. Went about my way. And then he messaged me later and was like trying to joke around about it, but he's like, dude, you were fucking like yanking me all over the driveway and this and that. He's like, dude, I was swinging left to right on either side, and it didn't move you at all. And I just felt like a kite. And I'm like, I didn't feel shit. I was like, he was like, you didn't honk. You didn't tell me to slow down. Like, I was like, I didn't hear nothing from you. And he goes, I was just happy you were pulling me out. But he goes, damn, dude, like that was crazy. And I look back at my footage. I'm like, no, you weren't. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, because I have the wolf box.
I'm sure it felt like it in the cab, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like,
that probably should have been a winch situation.
No, because I had to pull him the whole half mile.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't, like, once he got out of that, he still needed it the rest of the way, so I had to pull him. I could have used my 3-inch strap, but I honestly thought that would be more aggressive with no give. So I just went with that. It was the easiest thing. I had it right on my top box, so.
No.
But yeah, he got to learn a bit about kinetic ropes because he's never seen one before. And that was fun. And then my next day propane trunk got stuck in our driveway, and I offered to pull him out. He said no for liability issues. So instead, I went and blocked the road for him so that his other guy could at least pull him out, not worried about getting hit. So So yeah, lots of stuff happened this week, dude. Now,
Yep.
and we had like 3 days of like 40 to 50 degree weather. So all like 2 feet of snow has been melting. It's been shit, dude. Nasty
then-
shit.
It's like then it got cold again, so all that slush frozen to ice.
Yeah.
The end of my driveway is dangerous. I slid into the ditch this morning. I mean,
This is not the first time either.
I just put it in 4-wheel and backed it. Dude, my driveway sucks. It's like, it's pretty narrow, and on either side
narrow.
is just a deep ditch.
Yours is better than mine, though. So mine is really, really hard trying to get out in the morning on a shitty snow day. So it is bad though. So in our driveway, we don't plow it. So like all that crispy, like mushed ice is now like
Yeah.
Sienna's car was trying to drive through it, and it's just, you could feel it like going in a rut, out of rut, and breaking ice through the whole thing. And I'm like, ugh. But it's okay. We all have all-wheel drive cars except for her dad, because his rental, while his car's getting fixed for the, I don't know how many time, he's got a two-wheel drive Malibu.
We'll just say, don't buy GM cars.
Yeah. Yeah, stay away from these fucking Buick, what are they, Encores?
Oh, and it's not
Little
just the
mini
Encore.
SUVs. Those
Is it-
specific engines have a recall on them. I think it's the same one.
Encore? Isn't the Encore the same as an Equinox?
Yeah, I think so. Engine-wise, I think they're the same engine.
Dude, they've all got the same engine, including
Little
the
turbo.
Traverse, and
Yeah,
they're all the same.
that's the second engine he's gone through in less than a month. It took him a month to fix the one engine. He had it for 2.5 weeks, and the engine went out again. So, yeah, we stay
Yeah.
away from Buicks now.
It does look like the Encore is part of the Equinox family.
Just a garbage vehicle, dude. He doesn't even
Dude,
have
they are.
160,000 miles on it yet. He still
And
owes
that's-
like $9,000. It's like,
That's just how modern GM is. Anything after 2006 is like that with GM.
yeah. And my buddy's transmission went out on his what's the Terrain version? The Chevy Terrain, the Traverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
Traverse.
transmission went out on the fucking Traverse, and he's like, "Well, I mean, it lasted like 100,000 miles." So, and I'm like, "Dude, that's garbage." I said, "You should never have to even think about your transmission going out until like 250, 300,000 miles. Like typically,
Yeah.
the transmissions last way longer than an engine does." I was like, he's like, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "No, there's no yeahs or kindas about it. Like, your
GM makes a
transmissions-
shitty vehicle.
And what sucks is people expect that now. Like him expecting that and going, "Well, it lasted 100,000 miles." That's nothing.
Yeah.
That is nothing, dude. And then you see these like Toyotas, some of the Hondas even, like they're getting up into like 300, 400, 500, 600 mile, like 1,000-mile range.
900,000 mile range.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the Honda thing.
Plenty.
Toyotas are about. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of Toyotas getting up into like million mile, and Hondas are getting up there too. Like a lot of reliable Hondas. I think there's a lot more reliable engines than there are bodies in the Rust Belt.
For sure.
Yeah, like my Subaru engine was at 275,000 miles, and it was still running, but my whole subframe rotted out in half. So,
I blew the Power Stroke up at least 480,000 miles, and the body was rotted the fuck out at that point. I had to use 2x4s to level it.
yeah, it's the body thing in the Rust Belt. That's horrible. And maybe we'll do a small section in one of our upcoming episodes on how we do rust prevention. That might be a good one. Because we're at the end of our wrap. We should. But yeah. He just keeps
cut out
patching
rust. Once it starts, it's over.
Yeah, ask his frame.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yeah,
Bye.
poor guy.